Hi, welcome to our YouTube channel. Today we'll discuss real estate versus virtual estate. What is the difference? Real estate, if you want to buy, you need to pay money upfront. Let us say if you want to buy 1 crore rupees worth property, you need to pay 1 crore rupees. In virtual estate, the same thing can be done in an installment basis. Even real estate, you can do it in an installment by taking a loan. When you take loan, you are charged interest. But when you do virtual estate planning, you will be given interest by the company. Third, in virtual estate, you need to pay stamp duty to the government. It varies from 5 to 6%. Let us say 1 crore rupees property, around 6 lakh rupees, you need to pay stamp duty. There is no stamp duty in virtual property. In virtual estate, you may have to pay money to broker. You may have to pay brokerage. It may vary from 1 to 2 or 3% also. In virtual estate, there is no brokerage. In real estate, you may have to pay maintenance charges, like say any plumbing issue, electrician issue. You may have to go behind them and then get the things done. Whereas in virtual estate, you need not pay any maintenance charge. As the number of years goes higher, the real estate maintenance cost is going higher. In real estate, we have to hunt for tenant every year. In virtual estate, we need not hunt for a tenant. And even while hunting, we may have to pay brokerage to the broker to get the tenant. In real estate, the estate price, it is not fixed that it will go higher or lower. It depends on various other conditions. Let us say if there is a road widening, the property may go for a higher rate. Let us say the same thing, a drainage is coming next to the property prices may go down. So it is not fixed. So it may come down or it may go up also. So appreciation may happen, may not happen. But in virtual estate, the appreciation will happen. And the appreciation, it is you can monitor every year what is happening in your virtual estate. In real estate, the transfer to next generation is little difficult. There may be many legal issues which may come up. While buying, it is very easy. While selling a property, it is very difficult. I think the people who have undergone this selling property, they would know the difference. And one more thing, giving it to the next generation. Let us say you have two kids. One kid may tell that I want to inherit the property. The other kid may tell, I don't want to inherit, I want to sell this and take the money. So both of them, they have to agree. Otherwise, they'll go to the court. And then after 10-15 years, it may be sold or some decision will come. But in virtual estate, you can make 25% to the first kid, second kid 25%. You can make the share now itself and 50% for wife. Like that, you can mention it beforehand so that there will not be any legal issues later. In real estate, selling is very difficult. I think you agree this, because finding a buyer, if you go to any property site, you can see n number of properties for sale. So finding a buyer is very difficult. And even if you find a buyer, let us say you have some people, they buy a site or a flat, they'll tell that this is for my daughter's education or this is for my daughter's marriage. When she turns 21, 22, I'll sell this and I'll provide for graduation or post graduation. But one thing, have you noticed? While selling, if the broker comes to know that you are desperate, the same price you may not get it. They will bargain it for a lesser price, and you may have to agree for that, because you need that money. And for marriage, you need money, and the broker knows that you need money. He may quote very less rate. So we may have to take the rate whatever he or she gives. So buying at right price may not happen, and right time may not happen. Let us say for your kid, you want to do post graduation at 22. That time you want to sell, but that time you may not be able to sell because you may not find the buyer. In COVID times, you have seen nobody, you can say, the property rates have come down and there is no rental and nobody wants to buy. So the virtual estate, there is buyer available every time. In 24 hours, your property will be sold, virtual estate. Real estate, there is, I think you have heard of land acquisition bill. Government can take away your land. Let us say the market value is 10,000, government rate is around 3,000. The government will give whatever the rate and government will acquire that property. And I need not tell about land mafia, you know well. In real estate, it can get damaged due to floods, earthquake, tsunami, or any other natural calamity. In Bangalore, if you see every house or every flat, there are one or two boreholes. We don't know when there will be an earthquake in Bangalore. In my opinion, so I suggest, if for other than living, for an investment, I suggest you take a virtual estate than a real estate, because in virtual estate natural calamities will not create any damage to virtual estate. In real estate, the rental income, many people take virtual real estate for rental purpose. See, rental, if you take today, even if you see Mumbai, the rate is around 2.4%, the highest rent. This is not per month, this is per annum. Let us say you have 1 crore rupees worth of property, 2.4% meaning 2,40,000 rupees is the rent. Out of this, maintenance, let us say 20,000 rupees is the rent. Maintenance, other charges, let us say property tax, all those things, if you remove even 3,000 rupees, you are remained only with 17,000. Even this 17,000, if you remove tax, if you come under 35% tax, you will remain with only around 12,000, 11 to 12,000 rupees per month. So rental, it is not so attractive. It is less than 3% anywhere in the country. And if you see the prices, in 2009 it was around 90 rupees. Today it is around 170 rupees. This is the index. If you see Sensex, there is Sensex figure. This is property index. So if you see from 2017 to 2019, the price 2020, the prices have hardly increased. So I am of opinion that real estate, it has reached a saturation point. From here growing from 170 to becoming 340, it may take more time than the earlier days. It can take even 20-25 years also. So real estate for an investment purpose, no. Virtual estate will have a steady growth. If you see, this is cost of inflation index. This is used for to arrive capital gains tax. Let us say in 2001-2002 the value of property was 1 crore. For indexation purpose, it is in 2020-21 it is 300 rupees. So your property of 1 crore rupees, in 20 years it has become 3 crore rupees. If you want to sell at 20 years, you will have to pay tax again on the 2 crore rupees what you have earned. It also depends on indexation, so there is a different calculation for that. So it will be decided. We have to sit case to case to decide that. So in virtual estate, there is no indexation or no tax. That is the advantage of virtual estate. After telling all these things, if you feel that we should not invest in real estate at all, no, it is a wrong idea. To stay, you need a place called home. So you need a good home. First thing is you should have a home, and then for an investment purpose, I don't suggest real estate. For an investment purpose, you can probably look into virtual estate. So how this virtual estate works, what kind of plans we give, and how the returns are. So for this, we need to sit together, or we need to have a financial planning for virtual estate. So if you are interested in taking a virtual estate plan or to know more about virtual estate, then please call me back. This is my number. And if you like this presentation, please like and subscribe for future educational series. And it is better you can share it to somebody, so that this may save the person, not only person, the family. So if you like this video, please like and then share. Thank you.